We have some amazing new storybooks that teach great lessons that your kids will love. Starting with Lemur Dreamer. This is an adorable story about a lemur who sleepwalks in the middle of the night, and all of his friends start to notice that he's doing this and they want to help him stay safe. So they come up with this plan. They follow him one night, track him down, and kind of help save him from his sleepwalking ways. It's a silly, sweet book that kids will get a giggle at. Speaking of silly, this book is one to get all kids giggling. I say ooh, you say ah. Has different directions on each page for kids to follow. For example, this one says, there's one more thing. When you see an ant, say underpants. Which kid is not going to think that is hilarious? While you're looking, here's something else to remember. If you see a cloud, say your name out loud. So then they turn the page, they see the cloud, all the kids will respond with their name. This one says, one last thing, every time I turn the page, you must wave. So then all the kids will be waving, then the donkey thinks they're waving goodbye. It's just a series of steps that will be fun and entertaining for your kids. Here and There is a book to teach about different cultures and ways that things are different in other parts of the world. For example, this page talks about buying groceries and how it's different in North America as opposed to in Indonesia. Playing outdoors compares Norway to Hong Kong. Traveling to school, you can learn about Zambia and Japan. So it just exposes children to maybe what's going on in different parts of the world, shows them how things are maybe different from the way that they're growing up. 50 States in Every Vehicle is an adorable book about a family going on a trip, and they pass through 50 states in the United States. However, the way they get to each state changes. They use all forms of different transportation. So it introduces your children to geography of the United States, but also shows them different ways you can get around. And it's just a fun way. It's perfect if you have any road trips coming up, or even if you are wanting to make those geography lessons just a bit more exciting. Possibly one of my favorites is the story called Boy. This is an adorable book that involves this little boy named Boy, and he is surrounded by knights fighting dragons, and he can't figure out why his family always lives in fear, and he finally decides to go out in the midst of it all. But Boy can't hear what's happening, so he has a hard time understanding what exactly is causing all this commotion. So he finds a new way to communicate and kind of makes people see things from a different perspective. It's a book about letting people see there are different forms of communication, that it's not always what you say with your words, but it can be with your actions as well. And it kind of opens kids to seeing things from a different perspective. So it's a great book with a great lesson. Ava's Spectacular Spectacles is a fantastic book that once again has a great little lesson inside. This book is about Ava, who doesn't really want to wear her glasses. She's kind of ashamed of them. But we take a trip through here and find some of our favorite storybooks, and we see how they maybe could have turned out a bit different if the main characters had been wearing their glasses. Little Red Riding Hood, maybe she would have seen the wolf. How about Humpty Dumpty? Maybe he wouldn't have fallen off the wall, or maybe all the king's horses and all the king's men could have gotten to him and put him back together. So perfect if you have a child who's a little bit ashamed of wearing their glasses, or you're trying to introduce the concept so they are more understanding to others.